Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi. This is our group assignment and presentations of managerial finance. First of all, I would like to thank you, our professor of managerial finance, who is Prof. Madya Dr. Rasidah binti Muhammad Said. For this assignment, we have formed group, and our group members consist of 4. Me, myself, Wan Luqman bin Wan Sulaiman, colleague Muhammad Qawim bin Abdul Ghani, and Loh Tek Wai. Last but not least, our friends Al-Ithawi Omar Abdulillah Muhammad. For this assignment, we have been instructed to choose a company to be analyzed based on financial data available from internet sources. So finally, we have decided to choose Nestle Malaysia Berhad as our group assignment. The contents of our presentation will be comprised of introduction for our first part. For our second part is to identify the beta coefficients of Nestle stock. The third, we need to identify the required rate of return for Nestle. The fourth, the growth rate of the selected company's EPS or dividends. The fifth, we need to predict the price of the common stock. And last but not least, our conclusions for this assignment. For our first part is introductions. Okay, as we all know, Nestle is the world's largest food and beverage manufacturer. The Nestle headquarters is located in Switzerland. Nestle also present in 191 countries. In Malaysia, Nestle was established since 1912 and known as Anglo-Swiss Condensed Milk Company. Actually, Nestle is an investment holding company which engage in manufacture, marketing and sales of food products. And Nestle operates through 2 segments. First is food and beverages, and the second one is other segments. Nestle is also largest research and development network of F&B industry. Currently, Nestle employs more than 5,300 people and markets more than 500 halal products in Malaysia. As we already familiarized that Nestle product brand names such as Milo, Maggi, Nescafe and KitKat. Nestle also listed on Bursa Malaysia on 13 December 1989 with an issue price of RM5.20. And Nestle market capitalization as of 24 April 2018 is worth of 34,753 million. The purpose of Nestle is actually to enhance quality of life and contributing to a healthier future. And Nestle values is reflected in the way they do the business. For part 2, we need to address or identify the beta coefficients of Nestle Malaysia Berhad. Before that, what is beta coefficients? Beta is a measure of the volatility of a security or a portfolio in comparison to the entire market or a benchmark. Beta is used in the capital asset pricing model, which calculates the expected return of an asset based on its beta and expected market returns. Beta is also known as the beta coefficient. As we can see on the slide, that is beta coefficient formula, which standard deviations of stock I divided the standard deviations of market times the correlation coefficients of the market. To calculate our beta coefficients of Nestle Malaysia Berhad, so we have downloaded historical data of Nestle stock price from investing.com website ranging from January 1st, 2015 until November 1st, 2018. So as we can see on the slide, Nestle Malaysia Berhad average return is 1.72%, while its standard deviation is 5.03%. For FTSE, the average return is negative 0.16%, while its standard deviation is 2.58%. So we get our correlation coefficient of 0.13, and beta coefficient can be calculated by inserting all that relevant figures as shown in the slide. So to get beta, we need to divide standard deviation stock by standard deviation of market and times correlation coefficients. Means that 5.03% divide by 2.58% times 0.13, so we have our beta of 0.26. Thus, this beta coefficient of 0.26 means that Nestle Malaysia Berhad stock is less volatile than the market. Our last questions of part 2 for beta coefficients of Nestle Malaysia Berhad is to compare to the published beta and reasons for difference, if any. Our beta coefficient for Nestle Malaysia Berhad is 0.26, while beta of Nestle Malaysia Berhad published at investing.com is 0.22. The differences of these two figures are due to a few reasons as stated on the slide. First is beta varies in different reports as they take different time period like weekly, monthly, yearly, etc. to calculate the same. For the second reason, it depends on the base index taken. For instance, beta taken from historical data of Yahoo Finance is different as compared to investing.com. And last but not least, one was updated more recently than the other. Our historical data was based on January 1st, 2015 until November 1st, 2018. As illustrated on the slide, this is our 3 years of historical data for Nestle Malaysia Berhad and FTSE from investing.com. Thank you for listening. I'll pass to my colleague to present our next questions.
Okay, I'm Muhammad Kawim. Okay, now I will be presenting about the required rate of return for Nestle Malaysia Berhad by using CAPM method and the yield of 10-year treasury bond as the risk-free rate. Okay, first of all, what is the CAPM? CAPM is the short form of capital asset pricing model. Is the formula used to calculate the cost of equity for every stock. Is it an integral part of the weighted average cost of capital, or in the short form of WACC? It describes the relationship between how we expected the return and the risk of investing in the stock. From the calculation, we will see what is the expected return on the security is equal to the risk-free return plus a risk premium, which is based on the beta of the security, and the risk premium can be derived into risk-free rate deducted by market risk of the stock. Okay, first of all, I will explain how we got the figure. We got two beta coefficient figure. First from the investing.com, which is we got about 0.22, and another one is from our calculation for the previous discussion. We got the for period 2015 until 2018, we got the beta for Nestle Malaysia Berhad is about 0.26. This is only about a slightly different figure on it. And once we got the data and we calculate it, the required return for Nestle Malaysia Berhad is about 3% and above using the calculated data or directly using the data published on the website.
Salam sejahtera Professor Dr. Rashida, and greetings to my fellow team members. I'm Teck Wai. I'm going to discuss on the estimations of the EPS. Before we proceed to the calculations EPS, let us have a quick recap on what is EPS. So EPS is stand for earning per share. So basically it's the portions of the company profit allocated to each share of common stock. So in another words, let's make it a layman's term, which is the indicator to showing company profitability. Cool. Sounds very easy, right? Now, okay, let us check on the formula parts now. So this EPS, basically the formula works as net income minus preference dividends over weighted average common share. So from here, we got three parameters: net income, preference dividends, and weighted average common share. So for the time being, we ignore for the preference dividend because we're not going to using this parameter for time being. What about for the net income and weighted average common share? These two parameters actually we can get it from our annual report. So let us check on how to capture the figure before we proceed to the calculation part. Basically, the net income we can find out from our annual reports under the group financials highlight. And for the total number of share, we can get it from the shareholding statistic module. Once we capture this two figure, then we can proceed to do our calculation for the EPS. Referring to the tables below, this is a partial screenshots captures from the annual report. So basically under earnings / cash flow modules, there's a row column called profit after tax and minority interest. This is another name for the net income. So from this table we can notice that that particular year, like example 2017, what is the figure for the net income, which is 645 millions, and for the year 2016 we have 637k millions, and etc. Likewise, we can get the total number of shares from the annual report as well. So as I mentioned since earlier on, we can capture it under module shareholding statistic, and this is how it look like. This is an example how we calculate on the EPS. So basically we got our net income from our annual report, we got the total number of shares from our annual report, then we can start work on this table sheet, which is first column we fill up the year first. Example 2012, 2013, 2014, and so on and so forth. So the second column, maybe we can fill out the total number of share or the net income. The sequence is not important. So in this example, I show the total number of share as my second column, and the third column will be my net income, which is the particular figures I captures from the different years annual report. Once we got these three columns, then we can start to work on our EPS column. The EPS, we will follow the formula, which is net incomes over total number of share. In this case, the third column, which is the net incomes, will over the second column total number of share. Example, let's just take the year 2012 as an example. So the total net income is 505,352,000 over 234.5 millions. So we get 2.155. So we can plug in this 2.155 under EPS. This is how we get the EPS figure. Before we proceed to calculate the EPS growth rate and the dividends growth rate, there's another column we require to find out first, which is dividends column. This is another data set we can capture from the annual report. Under modules shareholding statistic, we can find out the specific data for that particular year for the dividends. What is the figure? So we just plug in under this table, then we can start calculate on our EPS growth rate and the dividend growth rate. These two columns we using the same formula. So as I showing here, the formula will works like EPS current year minus EPS previous year divide EPS previous year. Which is, I give you one example. We capture the EPS 2013 data minus EPS 2012 divide EPS 2012. So example 2.3953 minus 2.1550 divide 2.1550. Then we get the EPS growth rate, which is 0.1115. Same goes to the dividends growth rate. Basically, there's using two methods to forecast the following year EPS. So the method one is, let's say we're using the latest 5 years record. So we sum out all the 5 years EPS, we divide by 5. Then we will get the average growth rates figure. We're using this rate to forecast the following years. Or the methods two, we're using compound annual growth rates, which is we take the latest year, which is 2.7539 over year 2012, which is 2.1550. After that we square root by 6 because it's over years is 6 year, and minus 1, we will get the growth rates as well. Okay, this is a comparison table between the student finding versus the professional analysis findings. So basically we have two methods. The methods one is using the average last 5 years methods, and the second method is using CAGR rates. So we have two figures for the EPS 201X and dividend 201X. For the professional analysis, of course, they only have one figures. So from here, we notice that there is some discrepancy between two findings, which is from student finding and professional finding. I believe the reason being because for the professional analysis, they are using the golden constant growth rate methods, which is they assume the company is consistent growth. Besides, they will take considerations on the real environment, which is like example, changing the tax system from GST to SST. Previously, we under GST, the company might have to pay more tax compared to using SST. So that's a reason why for the professional analysis, you may notice that it's slightly higher than the student figures. So this is what I try to make the justifications on the estimations, EPS and dividend part. Thank you.
Hello. Here we can notice the financial informations which are taken from Yahoo Finance and investing.com for Nestle Malaysia Berhad. And these financial informations are going to help us to solve the fifth questions. After calculating the price of common stock, we found that the actual price equal calculated market price, hence we should hold the stock. And for the last part of the fifth questions, we made a table that has non-constant growth rate and assume growth rate for the 5 years. Thank you.
Okay, last part of the financial analysis is the conclusion. What can we conclude from our analysis is the data that we calculate from the sources that we got through the website is slightly different with the actual result uh, obtained in the market. It's because of the different stock change period and difference based in the taken that we got from the website. But generally, according to the analysis, NESM doing well in order to maximize the wealth of the shareholder. Maybe just some opinion for them to maximize the wealth. They should increase the company performance on key investment metrics such as earnings per shares to boost stock price and to consistently increase dividends payout. Last but not least, Nestle Malaysia have its position in the market as word of mouth and share experience are the publicity that makes the Nestle remain in the market, and get the trust from the not just stakeholders but also the customer itself. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you.